Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We have Nick Tarburon with us first thing this morning. As always, hit the raise your hand button and we'll call on you for questions. We'll start with Tyler Donahue.
Good morning, Nick. How are you today?
Good morning. How you doing? Doing well.
Doing well. Thank you. I appreciate it. What was yesterday like? I should say, what was Sunday like when you all got back to facilities and kind of took upon that tough task of getting into the details of what happened in the game?
Yeah. Obviously it was a tough day for all of us. But I think, through all that, there was also some positives. We were able to actually sit down and we watched the defensive film as a unit, which is like as a whole defensive unit, which was different. And I think it helped us a lot. It helped us grow. And I think we saw some plays that we just left out there.
Rich Scarcella.
Good morning, Nick. Thanks for doing this.
Yep.
Nick, you've been there for a long time and you've been through tough losses, and in a couple times that tough loss has been followed by another loss. How do you, as one of the team leaders, how do you keep one loss from turning into two? Yeah,
the biggest thing, man, we're going to take this one on the chin. We're going to learn from it. We're going to grow from it, and then we're going to throw it away. That's the biggest point that we've been making these past couple of days. And pretty much since Sunday. Just throw it out the window. Get focused on Minnesota. We've already dove into them pretty deeply yesterday, watching a lot of film and our position meetings. The biggest thing is just looking forward, man, and growing from your past.
Joe Smeltzer.
Hey, Nick, talking about Minnesota, who you just mentioned, what are some things you've seen from Mohamed Ibrahim so far?
Yeah, he's definitely a talented back. He's explosive. I think he's patient too. I think he's got good vision and hits the hole hard. And it's going to be a good challenge for us.
Daniel Gallen.
Nick, when you were looking back at Saturday's performance, what was kind of your big takeaway, or what is something that you could attribute, that type of defensive performance to upon reflection?
The biggest thing is we just didn't execute. We weren't, gap accountable. We weren't gap sound. Certain times we were peaking in wrong gaps. Guys were just, not executing the defense. And, if we don't do that, bad things are going to happen.
Andrew Clay.
Nick, I want to talk about obviously the whiteout. When you guys have recruits on campus and they want to talk about the whiteout, like, what do you tell people who have never been to a whiteout what this atmosphere is going to be like?
Yeah, it's pretty special. Something I always say kind of to everybody that asks about it. It's like it's really something I can't even describe to you unless you've been there. You know what I'm saying? It's just a crazy experience. It's something that I hold really special to me, and all my teammates and coaches do as well. It's such a cool atmosphere. It's just something I always say, it's something you got to experience yourself.
John McGonigal.
Yeah, Nick, you already asked about Mo Ibrahim, but with the offensive line with Minnesota, what have you seen on film from them? And then how difficult of a challenge will it be going from, one set of an offensive line in Michigan that likes to run the ball and be physical to another?
Yeah, I think Minnesota is pretty similar in what Michigan, wants to do. They're going to try to run the ball, and I'm excited for this challenge. I think we're built for it, and kind of what I see. There are obviously some big physical human beings. That's what most offensive lines are, but I think Minnesota definitely has a pretty bigger offensive line than what we've kind of seen in the past so far. I think they move pretty well, with their stretch schemes and stuff like that. But I think it's a great challenge, and I'm looking forward to it and can't wait.
John Petitioner.
Hey, Nick, good morning. Moving forward, what do you want to see out of your teammates this week in practice, and what will your message be, if anything at all? PJ said you can only talk so much. You've got to put action into place.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with PJ. We can say as much as we want to say, but we got to translate it to the field. I think the biggest thing, man, is just just trusting each other, knowing that everybody within the defense is going to do their job and going to do it, 100%, and just going out there and giving everything you got. Forget about the past, move on. We're focused on being 1-0 this week, and that's how we're going to attack this week.
Andrew Destin.
Thanks for doing this, Nick. Do you or any members of the team, the veteran guys, remember anything specifically from that 2019 loss to Minnesota? You remember, or you mentioned learning from the past. I'm curious if that game is a talking point at all this week now that, the Minnesota week has come upon us. Thanks.
Yeah. Obviously, we're going to watch that film too, and just, pick up certain similarities, certain traits, that may, help us, that we may learn from. But yeah, we're always, if we ever play an opponent the year before, a couple years before, we're going to watch that tape and just kind of dive into it and, learn from that as well.
Tyler Donahue.
Yeah, you're going to go up against an offensive coordinator that you shared a facility with for a full season. I'm curious if you and the defensive unit are able to kind of have some extra insight into this matchup because of the close proximity you had with Kirk Shiraka.
Yeah. Just like every other week, it's just another week, we're just trying to get this win. But, obviously with Coach Shiraka, being in our building, we have an idea of, the type of offense that he runs, some similarities and stuff like that, again, we can kind of pick up on. So, but bottom line, man, I'm just focused on getting this win, and however it happens, it happens.
Rich Scarcella.
Nick, you said it, PJ said it, and John Sutherland said it on Saturday, that there was a lack of gap accountability by the defense on Saturday. And I'm asking this only because you're playing another running team. How hard is it to correct that, and where does that come from? The mistakes being with the gaps.
Yeah, honestly, not that hard. Just just do your job. If you do your job, whatever defense is called, man, whatever we got going on, as long as guys are doing their job, they're going to fill in their gaps, and we'll be all right.
Joe Smeltzer.
Next, so obviously, excuse me, the team goals are the most important thing, but from an individual standpoint, where would you say you're at in year 2 as a starter compared to where you were for 6 games last season?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I'm, improving, kind of week by week, and that's obviously the goal is just to continue to, work my craft, continue to get better, work on things that, that I need to continue to work on. But, the bottom line, man, is I'm all about winning games. I'm all about being there for my teammates, and doing everything I can to, get this next coming win.
Nolan Wick.
Hi. So Tanner Morgan's status is up in the air for Saturday. As a defense, have you guys prepared for facing their backups? And if so, what's that been like?
Yeah. As far as kind of our week to week, we, our Mondays are basically it's just all watching film. So we've watched film. I haven't really seen a whole lot of this, the backup yet. I'm sure we'll have, certain schemes and stuff like that set up for him. But as a whole, we're just kind of, just kind of diving into everything and, going from there.
Daniel Gallen.
Nick, you mentioned watching the film together as a team, which is something a little different than you guys have done. How have you seen Manny kind of respond to this performance? What is he like, as a defensive coordinator coming out of something like this?
Yeah, I think the world of Coach Diaz. He's a powerful, strong leader, and he's he's a guy that's there for us. Is kind of with us through it all. And I think, kind of how we did it, a little bit differently. It just like kind of, I don't know, kind of brought everybody together. You know, it was a tough performance, obviously, and you know, through that, we're going to learn from it. Was kind of his message, and grow from it, and then you know, just kind of throw it away and just focus on getting better.
Ron Snyder.
Could you turn your phone the other way?
What's up? Let me turn
Could you
it.
turn your phone the other way first off? Perfect. How do you got? What's your assessment of their passing game as well in terms of what they bring to the table as a threat to your defense? It's obviously you're focused on run defense after last week, but what stands out about their passing game?
I mean, they're a big RPO team, so we obviously got to prepare for that. You know, especially with you know, if Tanner's playing, I think he does a good job with that. So it's you know, it's a lot of quick stuff, a lot of access. But you know, biggest thing is just doing our job and you know, taking care of what we got to take care of.
We have time for two more. We'll go Tyler Donahue and then John Petitschna. Go ahead, Tyler.
Nick, we've seen Keziah Izzard involved a lot in October after he missed all of September. Can you tell us a little bit about what he did on the practice field in September to put himself in a position to kind of come out of the gates firing a little bit? We don't know why he was missing, but I know it's not easy to just enter the middle of the season and start playing football.
Yeah, you know, he kind of just was, you know, just working, man. You know, he never kind of wavered, was always just continuing to work each and every day. Came in there with a great attitude, and was just, you know, grinding, doing everything he could possible to, you know, get himself ready to go for when he was ready to get back onto the field. And I think he just did everything right to kind of put him in that position to be ready to go.
Go ahead, John.
Hey, Nick, just thanks again for your time this morning. And for what it's worth, I think you look just fine the way your phone was set up the first time. Being a senior, being a team leader, how would you describe the level of determination that this team has moving forward, knowing what's at stake and what is possible for this team to achieve this season?
Yeah, I think this team, you know, compared to a lot of teams that I've been a part of, are just extremely determined. I think, you know, our work ethic, our attitude, just how we're competing every single day. And then, you know, honestly, what we're willing to sacrifice each and every day as well. You know, we've been through a lot as a team. And I think we're just so, you know, determined and so kind of eager to, you know, just continue to, you know, give ourselves and then give you guys everything we got each and every week.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick, for your time. Thanks everyone for hopping on this morning.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
Yep.